Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Jason Williams, and I'm with my tag team partner, Blake Castetter, and we are the Sunday Funday guys, Sunday six-pack going into week 14 already, Blake.
That's right.
Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
I think we got some lines here that make a lot of sense and are surprisingly low. I mean, there's multiple lines where I'm like, am I missing something?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, again, we know how Vegas is.
That's what I'm saying. Does Vegas know something we don't know?
They usually do.
Because some of this stuff just doesn't make sense. Like, how am I getting a line this low?
Yeah, I agree. Well, I will go ahead and kick it off for the Sunday six-pack. My first Sunday six-pack bet is Bucky Irving over 65 and a half rushing yards against the Saints. Now, Bucky Irving has been hurt all year. Most of you who have him obviously are glad that he's back. But he's actually done pretty well against the Saints defense. In 2 games, small sample size again, Bucky Irving averages 85 yards and a touchdown, which equates to about 16.1 fantasy points per game. The Saints defense is giving up 127 to 129 yards rushing per game, ranking them about 21st, and allowing an average of 4.1 yards per carry. It's pretty simple. The numbers say Bucky Irving will hit that mark, meaning 65 and a half, and possibly go over. So welcome back, Bucky, and I am confident that he will go over the 65 and a half rushing yards this week against the Saints.
There you go. Yes, first week back. I mean, he had 17 carries, 61 yards.
Yep.
I was worried it was going to be like a very on a snap count.
Mm-hmm. They knew.
He's ready to roll.
Threw him in the fire.
So I say fire up Bucky Irving. This was one that I had eyed as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't pull the trigger on it because you already had it in there.
Dang it.
Another running back I like, Chase Brown, over 51 and a half rushing yards. This is one of few that are like, how?
Mm-hmm.
He's beat this line in 5 or 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The first few weeks, he was awful running the ball, but they couldn't get anything going. Buffalo, so he's covered this for 5 or 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. Significantly covered it. Not even close, like blowing it out of the water. Buffalo's allowing 141 yards per game, and at home, it gets worse. They're allowing 151 and a half yards per game. 30th in the league in defensive rush EPA and DVOA. They're also allowing the second most yards per rush at 5.2 yards per carry. Burrow's back. T is playing. Do you think they're going to try and worry about stopping the run?
No,
they know Burrow will beat him through the air. He's got a complement of weapons. 51 and a half seems low, given what he's done.
Right.
And the defense he's going against, and possibly even the game script.
Mm-hmm. And you bring up a good point now that Joe's back and T and Jamar are healthy. You know they're not bringing the guy down to the box. They're playing 2 high safeties. We all know that. Against the Bengals, that's what you do. Like you don't even mess around with, getting another guy in the box. So what that does is it opens up the game for Chase Brown. That's why we thought he was going to be what he's turned out to be over this last, couple months. A guy that's going to get you 100 yards a game rushing and then, throwing another 20 or 30 receiving. So I like Chase. I like Chase Brown for the rest of the season. He could be one of those guys that takes off. I mean, looking at the Bengals schedule, the only really tough defense they have probably is Cleveland at the end of the year.
Final week, yeah.
Final week. So Chase Brown could be one of those guys that can.
Ravens, Cardinals, Dolphins.
Yeah.
Bills. And then
the Browns. Yeah. So love it. Love that bet. I am my second bet. I had to wait for the injury report to come out, but once it did, I was like, this is a no-brainer. Once they got the news as I was working on this that Marvin Harrison Jr. was out versus the Rams, I said Michael Wilson over 5.5 receptions against the Rams all day, every day. Who benefits the most from Marvin Harrison Jr.'s absence? Michael Wilson for sure. In games when Marvin Harrison Jr. was not playing, Michael Wilson, 15 catches on 18 targets. Those are Jamar Chase numbers.
Mm-hmm.
10 catches on 15 targets. Last week, though, Marvin Harrison Jr. back, 3 catches, 7 targets. So the numbers bear it out. Blake talked about Jacoby Brissett, and we'll get to him in a little bit, in the game script versus the Rams. Also mentioned that Jacoby Brissett averages over 40 pass attempts a game, correct? Roughly.
Mm-hmm. The past 4 weeks.
So there you have it. So he's got to throw the ball to somebody. And who is that? Michael Wilson for sure. The over is a slam dunk, and Michael Wilson covers the 5.5 receptions this week against the Rams.
I mean, he could have covered it if his efficiency was better, if he had a better catch rate.
Right.
He covered it last week. It's 7 targets.
Yep. So I mean, he'll get double-digit targets. So
staying in Arizona.
Yes.
My second bet's Jacoby Brissett over 38.5 pass attempts. Another doesn't make sense to me. Does Vegas know something I don't know? It started at 37.5. So the money is saying the over. Now it's 38.5.
Right.
As I mentioned in the podcast earlier this week, I'm all in on Brissett. He's an everyday start from a fantasy perspective. Now we're talking about pass attempts. Kyler Murray's been shut down for the year. Jacoby has passed for 40 or more attempts the past 4 weeks. And in that time span, 4 weeks, he's averaged 47.5 attempts. Averaged 47. So in order to get that average, you got to have some high outliers, right?
Yeah.
Now we go to the game this week. The passing game's working. Why would Gannon change it? They don't have a running game.
Nope.
Trey Benson's still not playing. So they have no run game. But the Rams are great against the run. So another reason not to run the ball as much. The Rams are going to put up points. We know that. The Cardinals are 8.5-point dogs. Game script, they should be behind, and they should be throwing the rock around. At a minimum, it's going to be a high-scoring game because the Cardinals aren't going to stop the Rams.
No, at all.
So over 38.5 pass attempts. I'll take that all day.
We're riding the Cardinals train in this episode. I agree. Well, Fanatics, my last bet for this week is, again, kind of a deep dive. I got John Minchie over 38.5 yards against the Dolphins. This bet may look surprising to folks, but I took a deeper dive, and for me, it makes sense. Now, John didn't have a great game last week against the Falcons. 4 catches for 19 yards. However, he was targeted 20% of the time on his routes. That's not too shabby. And he is averaging 6.2 yards a target. The Dolphins are in the bottom half of the NFL with explosive plays allowed at 6.4%. And John Minchie can run. We know that. Also, the Dolphins are allowing 5.2 yards per play against placing them at the bottom third of the league. So 5.2 yards per play. There you go. A lot would depend on the game script. We know that. And we know how the Dolphins and Jets they're not sound teams. But will the Jets be down? Will they throw? How will the Dolphins play in cold weather? So the game script will dictate this bet a lot. I still think John Minchie gets over 38.5 yards against the Dolphins. All he needs is one big play. One deep pass for 20, 30 yards, and he's halfway there. So I like it. Again, took a deep dive, but I'm feeling confident about John Minchie, and again, over 38.5 yards against the Dolphins.
And you go back to last episode, Mechie, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. I was thinking about that when I started. Totally thinking about that. All right. Oh, we got Mr. Robinson up in here.
Yeah, Bijan over 34.5 receiving yards. So he is slowly, or not so slowly, becoming a very big threat in the passing game and a top receiving back in the NFL. Second in receiving yards at 594, second in receptions, and third in targets. He's just trailing CMC.
Right.
He's covered 34.5 in 9 of 12 games this year. Check.
Yep.
This week he's facing a team that has a strong defense overall, but is not great against stopping running backs in the passing game. Check. They've allowed the 4th most receiving yards per game at 39.7, the 2nd most receptions per game at 5.7 to running backs. Now let's look at the game script. Atlanta, 7.5-point dogs, likely going to be playing from behind. Check. And let's not also forget, no Drake London this week.
Right.
So if their targets have to go somewhere, I think they're going to get a couple more to Bijan. And 2 weeks ago, he only had 2 catches and he covered this line.
Yeah. I would love to know what the percentage is of running backs that get split out at wide receiver. And if I had to guess who would be number one, it would be Bijan. It seems like every time I watch him, he's getting like split out like an X, and it's or in the slot or something like that. So yeah, with Kirk Cousins, we know what he's going to do. He's not going to threaten you deep for the most part. He's going to dink and dunk. So that bodes well for Kyle Pitts, and that bodes well for Bijan Robinson. So definitely liking that one. So there you have it, folks. there's our six pack for the week, and now we get into the big time stuff. More college. This is it for college football. So bummed. This is it, Blake. I don't know what I'm going to do for the next.
You still have
weeks.
lines? We've still got bowl games.
I'm not into the bowl games, man.
Okay.
All right. But anyway, I digress. So last week I told you essentially what was going to happen. Ohio State versus number 15 Michigan. I said Michigan had not played anybody. I thought Ohio State would go in there and win. After a first quarter where they struggled, no doubt, Ohio State basically blew Michigan out, which is what I thought. Now, I'm staying in the Big Ten, and I'm staying with the Buckeyes. But this week, the Buckeyes take on Indiana in the Big Ten Championship in Indy, about 90 miles away from us. So we got 1 versus 2. OSU is favored by 4.5. Now, last week's game might have been, quote unquote, the game. But, folks, this week is the game that we've been waiting for all year. These two teams have been on collision course since week 1. Now, let's get into a little bit of stats. Ohio State, number 1. Indiana, number 2. Lots of things on the line. Number 1 overall seed in the CFP in a bye. Big Ten championships, and also potentially a Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback, with Julian Sayin and Fernando Mendoza being the 2 quarterbacks. One key to the game, Indiana's offense versus Ohio State's defense. And we've talked about Ohio State's defense, how good they are. Indiana wants to run the ball, and they are running the ball. They're one of the best running teams in the country, 15th, averaging 210 yards a game, and they run the ball surprisingly 59% of the time. So you would think more of a passing team. They like to run the ball. We've already, again, talked about Ohio State's defense. Yes, the one with four count of first-round draft picks down the middle of the defense. Nose guard, Caden McDonald. Safety, Caleb Downs. Come down to Cincinnati, buddy. Linebackers, Sonny Styles and Averill Reese, who might be the number 1 pick in the draft. Like, I am almost going to assure you, when he gets to the combine, he's going to rip that thing up and he's going to set all kinds of records. But a couple other things. Don't sleep on Julian Sayin in the OSU offense. They've got 3 solid running backs, and we saw what they did with Tate and Smith against the Wolverines. I mean, they have receivers, they have running backs. So, Blake, the teams are evenly matched. So I always say when the teams are evenly matched, no matter what level, comes down to 3 things. Who's going to win the line of scrimmage? You appreciate this as a coach. You know this. Turnovers and special teams. Now, my pick for the week, drum roll, I am saying Ohio State wins, but it's a close game, and Indiana covers the 4.5-point spread. So I'm thinking a field goal wins this game. The Buckeyes win. They get the number 1 seed. It was a tough one. I went back and forth. I had to sleep on it because I put this in yesterday. I slept on it, and I still feel like the Buckeyes are the better team. But as I said last week with Michigan, Ohio State has not played a caliber of offense that Indiana has, and that's going to be interesting to see. So it's going to be a great game. Great game. There we go.
That's tonight, right?
That's tonight at 8 o'clock. That was a lot. That's going to be a doozy. All right. We got more lines.
That's its own little parlay. Money line and points.
Yeah. For sure.
All right. Some other lines that I found that I like.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Mason over 33.5 rushing yards. He's covered this in the past 3 and 9 out of the past 12. This is another scenario where I don't understand what Vegas is seeing. Aaron Jones is playing, but he played last week and he covered it. This week he's banged up. So I don't know how. I almost like. I couldn't find a carries attempt. DraftKings didn't offer a rushing attempts line for Jordan Mason, but I would almost say he's going to get 9 or more totes this week with Aaron Jones being banged up, but playing. So I like Jordan Mason over 33.5. We talked about this one in our fantasy segment. Patrick Mahomes over 23.5 rushing yards. You said it. The Houston D line is going to be getting after the KCO line, causing Mahomes to leave the pocket and scramble. He's covered this in 8 of 12 games this year. Mostly, he's covered it by a lot. So I like Patrick Mahomes over 23.5.
I like that one a lot.
Finally, look at the underdog slate this week. I put a bet in for $1 on this entire line.
I'm doing it.
Bengals plus 230,
Yeah.
There's a very good chance the Bengals could win.
Yeah, that's a pick 'em in my opinion.
The Titans plus 180. That's a pick 'em as well, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Steelers at plus 235. We don't know what Lamar we're going to get.
He's hurt. He was on the injury report again.
I know.
Yep.
We don't know if their offense is going to do anything.
Right.
Jets at plus 130. Home, cold weather.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pick 'em.
Yep.
Texans at plus 160. Chargers at plus 124. If you run that parlay, it is 414 to 1. My $1 bet pays out $414 with no bonuses.
Let's do it. No bonuses.
No bonuses, no whammies. Let's go.
Big bucks, no whammies. Big bucks, no whammies. I love it, man. I'm doing that one. I'm gonna take a picture and put that in today. I want to make sure I don't forget that.
All right. So
Love it,
here's a new segment we're gonna do. Rapid fire, anytime touchdown, every game of the slate.
Okay.
Who's it going to be? So
Okay.
we're going to fly through this. You can give a snippet if you want as to why. But let's make it quick.
We're gonna do
Titans, Browns. Who scores?
Junkins.
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
Big day for Judkins. I agree.
Yep.
Falcons, Seahawks.
I'm gonna give you I'm gonna throw you a curveball. David Stills the fifth.
Who?
David Stills the fifth. Former West Virginia Mountaineer. He scored 2 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. It's plus 500.
Who's he play for?
The Falcons.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, see?
Yeah.
Curveball to you.
I like JSN.
Of course.
Very off game last week. I mean,
Yeah.
dud game last week.
Yep.
I think he gets right this week. Colts, Jags.
Mr. Strange. I think he scores a touchdown.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Jonathan Taylor.
All right.
He went off last time they played. He didn't score. He hasn't been as hot of late. Sign me up.
Yep.
Vikings, Commanders.
Boo. Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz.
I'm all in tight ends
Vikings,
today.
Commanders. Vikings,
Tight ends.
Commanders.
It's tight ends day again.
Yeah.
Commanders. Let's go.
Ooh. Give me Chris Rodriguez.
All right. Here we go. There we go.
Bills, Bengals.
Bills bank. Oh, James Cook.
Chase Brown.
Yep.
Saints, Bucks.
Ooh. Chris Olave.
I like that one.
Yep.
I think Bucky gets in.
Bucky gets in. All right.
Yep. Steelers, Ravens.
Ooh. I mean, it's got to be Derrick Henry. It has to be.
I do like Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to throw me a curveball. Go ahead.
I like Mark Andrews. He hasn't scored for 3 weeks, and they just
contract.
signed him up for a 3-year contract.
How you feel about that, buddy? Your boy.
I'm shocked by it.
Oh, man.
All the dynasty folks are like, what happened? We got Isaiah Likely. Why are we signing Mark Andrews?
Not anymore. He's going to another team next
Oh,
year.
he is.
What are you
He's
talking
gone.
about? Yeah.
Contract year. Dolphins, Jets.
Yeah. Ooh.
Give me Mitchell.
Give me Achane. Come on.
I mean, that's
easy.
pretty safe.
Right. Yeah, it is.
Raiders, Broncos.
RJ Harvey.
RJ Harvey. I like Bryant. Give me Bryant.
Okay. All right. You're Bryant.
Rams, Cardinals.
Ooh. I'm going to go with Michael Wilson.
Give me Devontae, breaking the record.
All right. I like that.
Packers, Bears.
Ooh. Man. Nobody for the Bears. Give me Wicks again. Wicks. Dontavian
Wicks.
Yeah, he went off last week. I'm not saying you should pick him up, but I think he scores again.
I'll take Jacobs.
All right.
Texans, Chiefs.
Give me Higgins.
Yes.
Higgins.
Take Jaden Higgins all day.
Jaden Higgins.
Chargers, Eagles.
Ooh. Quentin Johnston.
QJ back on the board.
Yeah. Scored last week.
Give me Keenan Allen.
Ooh. The old man gets in the end zone this week.
Give me Keenan.
All right. Well, we ran through that pretty quick.
Yep. All right, you got a couple lates for us. Let's hear them.
I do have a couple lates. The aforementioned John Minchie, last 2 games, 7 targets, 8 targets. Anytime there's an uptick in the target share, you want to keep him on your radar. I'm just saying, 7 targets, 8 targets. And then the next one, there's a caveat here. Ryan Flournoy, we're going to go with that. Only if CD Lamb is hurt and does not play next week, which we have no idea he's in concussion protocol. And again, last game against Detroit on Thursday, 13 targets, 9 catches. Again, we don't know CD's status for next week, but if he's out, and we know the Cowboys like to throw the ball, Mr. Flournoy could be one you might want to plug and play for the playoffs. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but man, you can't deny the 13 targets. And now, there's some issues with Mr. Pickens, yes.
God, he killed my parlay. The only leg.
Man, you're like the one-leg bandit. You can't get over the hump. All right. Anything else?
I even went low. 50 yards.
Oh, yeah, that's low for Pickens.
Yeah.
Because his over was like 90.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Blake, it's another week. We'll be good. You'll be good. You'll get it. If you win your underdog bet, you're really gonna get
That's
it.
what I'm saying. I'll take it.
All right, Fanatics. Well, there you have it. Our Sunday 6-pack for week 14 already. Good luck and have yourself a good Sunday fun day. Sunday fun day, guys. Out.